Good day, everyone. We are Group 6, and we are about to discuss our topic, which is Deontological ethics.
Deontological ethics is a moral theory that say an action is right or wrong based on rules, duties, or obligation, not based on result or consequences of the action. The word deology comes from the Greek word deon, meaning duty or obligation. This theory teaches that people should always follow moral principles and rules when making decisions. If an action follows moral rules, then it considered morality right even if the outcome is not good. No, bisan pasabutan ni bisan pag dili nindot or dili nindot ang resulta sa imong gibuhat, kung sakto imong gibuhat, consider gyapon na siya na moral rules. One of the most important philosophers who developed this theory is Immanuel Kant. He believed that morality should be based on reason and the universal rule that apply to everyone. According to Kant, people must act out of duty and respect for the moral law, not because they accept rewards or want to avoid punishment. Deontological ethics is that mean intention matter the most than consequences. This means that the person does the right thing because it's their moral duties. The action is considered good even if the outcome is not successful. Mani kung gingon ganina. For example, telling the truth is considered moral right in deontological ethics because honesty is a moral duty even if the outcome even if telling the truth causes problems or negative consequences, it's still the right thing to do because it follows moral rules. Another concept of deontological ethics is categorical imperative, also introduced by Immanuel Kant. These principles state that a person should act only according to rules that they should want everyone else to follow. Sa pasabot pa, before doing something, a person should ask it would be acceptable for everyone or in the society to act the same way. It also emphasizes about respect, human rights, and dignity. It teaches that every person should be treated with respect and should never be used as employee means to achieve someone's goals. Deontological ethics focus on duty, moral rules, and intention. It teaches that person should always do what is morally right according to ethical principle, regardless of the consequences.
Kant Moral Philosophy Explanation. The moral philosophy of Immanuel Kant focuses on the idea that morality is based on duty and rational thinking. According to Kant, a moral action is one that is done because it is the right thing to do, not because of personal benefit or emotion. Kant believed that humans are rational beings capable of determining moral laws through reasons. Therefore, we should follow moral rules that apply to everyone equally.
Goodwill. According to Immanuel Kant, the goodwill is the only thing that is good without qualification. Goodwill means doing the right action because it is morally right, not because we expect rewards or want to avoid punishment. For Kant, the intention behind the actions matters more than the result. Like example, if a person helps someone because they truly believe it is their duty to help others, that action shows goodwill. But if someone helps another person only to gain praise or recognition, it is not morally valuable. For instance, if a person tells the truth because it is their duty to be honest, that action demonstrates goodwill. However, if they tell the truth only to avoid punishment or gain a reward. The action lacks true moral worth according to Kant. In other words, Kantian ethics, goodwill, represents the foundation of morality. A moral good person is someone who acts with sincere intention and respect for moral duty rather than being motivated by personal interest or conquest.
The categorical imperative. The categorical imperative is the main moral principle developed by Immanuel Kant. It is a rule that tells us how we should act morally in all students. The most famous formulation of the categorical imperative is act only according to the rule that you would want everyone else to follow. This means if we're doing something else, what if everyone did this action if the action would create a good and fair world being applied universally and it morally acceptable? Example, if everyone lied, people would stop trusting each other. Therefore, lying can't be a universal moral rule.
W.D. Ross prima facie duties philosopher. W.D. Ross expanded deontological ethics by introducing the concept of prima facie duties, which are moral duties that are binding unless they conflict with our stronger duties. Ross argued that moral decision-making often involves balancing different responsibilities. Those are the examples of prima facie duties include: example number 1, fidelity, keeping promise and being truthful. Number 2, reparation, correcting wrong we have committed. Number 3, gratitude, showing appreciation to those who help us. Number 4, justice, ensuring fairness and equality. Number 5, beneficence, helping others and promoting good. Number 6, non-maleficence, avoiding harm to others. Number 7, self-improvement, development one's character and abilities.
Right-based moral theory. Right-based moral theory focuses on protecting individual rights and freedoms. This theory argues that every person has basic moral rights that must be respected. These rights include right to life, right to freedom, right to privacy, right to fair treatment. One major supporter of this theory is John Locke, who believed that people naturally possess fundamental rights that governments and society must protect. Example, if someone steals another person's property, they violate that person's right to ownership, making the act morally wrong. Another example of right-based moral theory, the right to fair treatment. If a teacher gives higher grades to some students just because they are their friends, while other students who work hard get lower grades, it violates the right to fair treatment. Everyone should be treated equally and justly because the teacher was unfair. The action is considered morally wrong. Another example, right to freedom. If a school stops students from sharing their opinion respectfully during a class discussion, it can violate the students' right to freedom of expression. Every person has the right to express their thoughts and ideas. Because this freedom is restricted without a good reason, the action can be considered morally wrong.
And this is the end of our presentation.